This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When send past the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, very nice holiday win for the New York Knicks over the Charlotte Hornets. So it's 2 in a row. 2 in a row. 2 road wins in a row. You got to count Brooklyn, okay? Some people might not want to, but you still got to count Brooklyn. That's a road win. And I'll take it. 2 in a row. Now we've got to continue to get these wins, ladies and gentlemen. The New York Knicks, now 11-6 on the season. 129-101, blowout win over the Hornets. Uncle Fulio, I was talking to him yesterday. I was supposed to talk to him today. Uncle Fulio, if you're listening, I apologize. We didn't link up today. He told me, he said, maybe we'll see the Knicks and the Hornets in the playoffs. What, Uncle Fulio? What are you talking about? Come on. You serious right now? I was like, Josh, the Hornets are like 4-13. See, yeah, but I like they got a young core. I understand what he's trying to say, but no, the Knicks they're not going to face off against the Charlotte Hornets in the playoffs. The Hornets are not going to make the playoffs, I don't think. I mean, I guess if they slide into the play-in, then maybe something like that is possible, but I doubt that's going down. I don't know. But it's a good win nonetheless. I don't care if it's over a team like the Charlotte Hornets. It was a cup game tonight. The Knicks got the win that they needed to get. 28-point victory. And then they come back home to the Garden to play Milwaukee on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. Hopefully, they don't have big bellies. You know? And hopefully, Milwaukee does have big bellies because they spent Christmas in New York. I mean, not Christmas. I'm bugging. I'm tripping. Thanksgiving in New York. You know? But the Knicks with the win over the Charlotte Hornets. There's a couple of storylines that I do want to talk about tonight. But first, let's go ahead and knock out the box score and all of that kind of stuff. And then we'll talk about some storylines in this basketball game. And I will say, if anybody thinks the Knicks should trade for LaMelo Ball, please don't. I don't want to mess with what we have with trying to trade for these big name players and stuff like that. Ancillary parts, I get it. Trying to make these wild trades for Anthony Davis, LaMelo Ball, and all these type of guys, I don't know if that's it, unless you're bringing them in without moving our core pieces. We don't want to give up the depth. We cried and complained about the depth last year. Well, I did. Some of y'all didn't. Some of y'all believed that we had the depth and all of that kind of stuff. I didn't. But anyway, I don't want to mess with the depth. I want to keep the depth where it is and add to it if we can. You understand what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? Knicks with the really, 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 really good win tonight. They did what they're supposed to do. And, people say, it's the Charlotte Hornets, the 4-13, 4-14 now, whatever it is. Well, this is what they're supposed to do to a team like this. It's what they're supposed to do. Let's take a look at the box score. Look at the box score. I want you guys to think about this before you answer. And if you're going to call in, give me a call, 516-362-5212. I want to know how you feel with Mitchell Robinson back. Mike Brown still chose to go with Brunson, Deuce, Hart, Karl-Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges. I want to know what you think about that. With Mitchell Robinson back in the fold. I know what I think about it. I want to know what you think about it. Let's break down the box score that we can get into that. Jalen Brunson led the way in scoring, ladies and gentlemen, with 33 points tonight for Jalen Brunson, 50% shooting, 33% from the three-point line, 3 assists for Jalen Brunson tonight. Josh Hart, 22 points. He was blazing hot, like 19 points in the first half for Josh Hart. You know, listen, we're not expecting this from Josh Hart every night, but we're going to take it when we get it. You understand? You know, there's a lot of people that are always like, Josh Hart. But, you know, we take what we can get scoring-wise from Josh Hart, and we understand that he's the hustle guy out there on the floor. You know what I mean? And I think that's fair. Anyway, 22 points, 7 assists, and 8 rebounds from Josh Hart tonight. Mikal Bridges, nice night, 18 points, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, 5 rebounds. Mikal Bridges, while I have my gripes with him, I'm not saying I don't like him. I have my gripes with him, but the brother fills up the stat sheets. You got to give it to him. You know what I'm saying? He does work all over the floor. I mean, I'm going to read it out again. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. He fills up the stat sheet. And tonight, he shot 72.7% from the field. Very good night from Mikal Bridges. Very good. And he normally fills up the stat sheet in this way. You know, he normally does. And I know I come down on him, and then my guy, Deuce McBride. 19 points tonight, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals. He shot 75% from the field. He was 5 for 5 from the three-point line. Nice night from Deuce. Very good night. Karl-Anthony Towns, 19 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. All 5 starters in double digits tonight. Jordan Clarkson gave you 8 off the bench. Tyler Kolek gave you 7 off the bench. Mitch gave you 5 rebounds. He played 17 minutes. Off the bench. And keep that in mind because, like I said, I want to talk about it. I want to have some conversations about it. You know what I mean? I got my man JJ from Brooklyn on the line. JJ. My brother, how you feeling? How you feeling, bro?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. First, I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Thank you.
Ones, man. Enjoy the holiday.
Same to you.
Good, man. Watch some football, you know.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, man.
That's exactly what I plan to do.
There you go, man. There you go. So, yeah, man. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it.
No doubt.
So, yeah, man, this was one, this is what you have to do to a team like Charlotte. It wasn't like the previous game versus the Nets where, it was anyone's game in the first half, even jump. So I thought the defense was good. They have talent. They do have talent. So I thought, 41% from the field.
Yeah. Hey JJ, you're a little bit going in and out a little bit. A little staticky going in and out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's going in and out some. It's good now. Now. I don't know if maybe you were moving around or whatever, but it's good now.
Yeah, let me know how it is. Yeah, is it a little better now or?
Yeah, yep, it's good.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I just thought the defense stood out. So.
Yeah. Yeah, tonight, was a good defensive night for the Knicks. They only gave up 101 points. I mean, altogether, the Knicks 12 steals on the night, 4 blocks on tonight. They did have 14 turnovers. I mean, what are you gonna do? Yeah. You don't want to have the turnovers. You know what I'm saying? But you got the win tonight, and we've had some turnovers lately. You know what I mean? We've turned the ball over, and we've got to take care of the basketball if we want to be a championship team. Like we say, we got to take care of that ball. But it was a good night all around tonight.
Right. Yeah, I thought Bridges was all over the place. offensively.
Yeah.
Bridges was all over in the passing. Like, do you know what was going on with him? Like, the coach from Charlotte was like mad at him. He was saying something to him after the steal late in the game.
I don't know exactly what that was all about. I seen that. Seen it a couple of times. I don't know.
I mean, I know he did some like gesture to the bench, but like I don't know if he was mad, like he was trying to get steals late in the game. But like, does he know the points all add up in the, in this tournament, whatever you want to call it, the cup?
Right.
So,
Right.
I don't know
right.
if that's what he was mad about.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they had just a little talking, had a little something going back and forth.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Bridges doesn't normally do a lot of that though. So something transpired because Bridges is normally pretty cool, right?
One thing about Bridges, I'll say, I feel like he's kind of become players. If a player like makes a defensive mistake, he's the guy that's usually speaking up. So I kind of like that.
Say that again, because it went out just as you said it. He said he's kind of become what?
Bridges, he's kind of becoming like a leader on the court. Like when someone makes a mistake, he's
Yeah, I've seen him.
Seen that from him.
Yeah, I've seen him a few times, and JJ is still going in and out.
Yeah.
I appreciate. I'm sorry, but I appreciate that. I appreciate you joining it. Joining in and whatnot, but it is going in and out. But Bridges is, I've seen him on occasion, address his teammates, about something defensive for the most part. I have seen that, and listen, the Knicks need more leaders in that way. They need more people to step up in that way. Listen, everyone on the team, in my opinion, should not be afraid to speak to their counterparts, to their teammates, to say, hey, we're not doing this right, we're not doing that right, or you are not doing this right, and you are not doing that right. Hey, that's what it is. You've got to, like D. Coolis is saying, take responsibility. And the responsibility, the accountability it's more powerful. It's more powerful when it comes from your teammates than when it comes from your coaches. You know what I mean? Way more powerful. And JJ, it's all good, man. It happens. No worries. No worries. It's just way more powerful when it comes from your teammates. Because you're out there on the floor, when it comes from the coach, it can start to fall on deaf ears, right? Oh, he's always saying this, he's always saying that, right? That's going to happen with any basketball team. But when it comes from your teammates, you know what I mean? These are the guys that you're going to battle with every day out there on the floor. In practice, you sit with on the plane, bus, all of that, sharing rooms, all of that, going out to eat with, you know what I mean? So you're accountable to them. When your teammates begin to address you, if you're a true teammate and you like your teammates and you have a strong team with good chemistry, then you're like, damn, I'm letting my teammates down. I want to step up. So we need more guys on this team to do it. We need everyone to do it. You know what I mean? D. Cooler said he's calling out Cat on his lack of defense. We've seen Cat get called out before. OG called him out, I think. You remember the playoffs. Was it the playoffs maybe? Where Cat and OG got into a little argument. Cat, OG, Brunson. But that's going to happen. That's going to happen, and that's what we need to happen. I'm okay with some arguments. You need a little bit of tension. It keeps the edge. It keeps the edge when you're out there. You got a few arguments going. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at the box score for the Charlotte Hornets. I couldn't think of their name for some reason. Not a good night for the Hornets, obviously, getting blown out at home in a cup game by 28 points. not a good night, but they were led in scoring by Miles Bridges. And, when you hear some names, you're going to say, yeah, they do have some talent over there, but it's not, I don't know, it's not meshing, right? But 17 points for Miles Bridges, 18 points for Brandon Miller. He's a nice young player, no doubt about it. LaMelo Ball, 11.6 rebounds, 4 assists. I didn't know Melo was that tatted up. And maybe I just didn't pay attention last year, but it didn't feel like he was that tatted up last year. He's covered. He's covered. You know what I mean? I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm just saying I didn't know he was that tatted up. 15 points for Colin Sexton, 15 points for Trey Mann. And listen, you would think when you see the names that's on this roster, Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, Colin Sexton, you would think that this team is better, would be better than what it is. You know what I mean? But something's not meshing with them. Something's not meshing. There's rumors that LaMelo Ball could be on the move, and I don't know. I'm not concerned about the Charlotte Hornets and whether or not they're moving LaMelo Ball and all of that. I don't know. Big shout out to Jay Boogie. He said, shout out to my New York Knicks family. Blessings, health, life, and happiness to you all. Big ups to the pod followers. Shout out to you, Jay Boogie. Happy Thanksgiving. Salute, salute, salute. I can't do it like him. Only Jay Boogie can do Jay Boogie. But salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. And I got my man Jason on the line. Jason, what's poppin' with you, bro? How you feeling?
What's going on, son? How are you, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Great.
Got it.
Happy
holidays to you.
Happy holidays to you and your family, man. Definitely.
Yes, sir. So what's your thoughts on tonight's game, man?
Yeah, man. Do what we have to do. Dominated. That's one of the things I always look for is like the teams we should beat.
You're a little bit low, Jason. You're a little bit low.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
No, I was gonna say the teams we should dominate. That's what I look for sometimes in some of these games. Like we shouldn't just win. We should be, that's what we did tonight. So I'm very happy to see that. Bridges. I said it last year, man. I think people still hold on to that 5 picks thing, and to me, at this point, it shouldn't even be a conversation anymore. Like I said last show, the other day on your show, he's not a 30-point per game scorer, but he offers so much that leads to winning, like OG.
Right.
And I think people just need to just lax on the 5 picks. And every little thing he does, people still want to kind of jump on him. He's a winning player too. The steals, the deflection, like I said the other day, he's like tops in the leagues in steals and blocks. Like that, those stats lead to winning. We complain about our defense. He's actually playing defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I think fans need to just give up on the 5 picks thing. It shouldn't even be a conversation anymore. Let's just appreciate what we got. He's a very good 3-and-D wing in this league. Is he one of the tops? Probably not. But his play leads to winning. So I was happy to see him kind of dominate this game in all facets, scoring, defense, rebounds. So, phenomenal game by him. Kolik. Yeah, man, I don't want to, make this like, Kolik needs to get 20 minutes a game or anything like that. But like I said the other day, you see when he's in the game, even today, you could tell he's gaining more confidence. Whatever Mike Brown is instilling in him or conversations or practice, to me, he just played really loose today. He didn't play rigid. He was even taking the ball to the basket, which we've complained about, but he did it a few times today and made a few, missed a few, but I like the effort and him even initiating offense. Because now that he's initiating offense, now the pass lanes are really going to open up because now teams have to respect him going to the basket. And he could hit some of those floaters like off the backboard. Like he could do that. So I thought he played great tonight. He gave really good minutes in that backup point guard position. Deuce had a great game. I've been critical of him, but You know, he's been playing. He played a great game today. And yeah, just a great all around game, man. No complaints, to be honest with you. Only gripe I had was probably I wish he'd have took the starters out a little earlier, but I guess if we're nitpicking, that would be my nitpick.
When did he take the starters out?
I wish some of the other guys would have got in a little more, a few more minutes early.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
he had
So
his reasons to do that.
he took them out with what, 2 minutes left, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was like 2:20, 2:10 in the ball game left. So.
Yeah.
He has his reasons. I'm not going to question the coach, when I'm not there to even see what's going on. So he had his reasons to do that. But, yeah, they just played very loose today, man. This is the energy we need to see every game. And I think after that Orlando game, I'm hoping, my hope is it woke them up that they need to bring it all game, every minute. Now, I know it's hard as an athlete. You're going to have your lows. You're going to be fatigued at some points, but this is the effort we need. And yeah, man, great game. I really have no big gripes. And how about you?
Yeah, I don't really have any gripes in this basketball game. If turnovers, if you want to gripe about something,
right?
If you want to complain about something, if you're looking for something, turnovers, you want to take care of the basketball, of course. But for the most part, they played a pretty good basketball game on both sides of the floor.
Right.
Obviously, against the team, the caliber of the Charlotte Hornets is what you should do. But I'm not going to take that away from them because it was the Charlotte Hornets, because they took care of business the way they're supposed to take care of business.
Absolutely.
Now, if this was a close game, I would have had some problems.
That's what I was about to say, Sam. Like, if we just struggled getting this win, people would have been jumping off the ledge. So when they're able to come out and dominate a team that they're supposed to dominate, and they do it in convincing fashion, hey, sometimes you just gotta, give them the salute, because if they'd have struggled, people would have been calling your line going ape, crazy.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, bugging out, wild and losing it. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe they're ruining my Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so a few more things, Sam. LaMelo Ball, I don't want no parts of that, honestly. And I'm not saying that Leon Rose is thinking about trading for him, but man, he's so talented, man. But see, here's the thing, Sam, and I know if you played sports, it's for anybody. I know you played ball. Any sports at any level, high school, college, pros. Yeah, you have talented players, but do you have winning players? And I think sometimes people, like you always hear, well, is Brunson the best point guard in the league or in the East? To bring up LaMelo, to bring up Cade. Which Cade is balling this year. I'm not even going to start. He's been balling.
He's
but
definitely
overall,
balling. He's definitely, and he's a winning player.
Take Brunson 10 times out of 10 because he's just a winner, man. He did it at the college level. Now we haven't won a chip yet with him, but at least we're kind of in the mix when it comes to, all right, we're contenders this year or next year, or whatever our window is. So, man, while LaMelo is, talent-wise, LaMelo is probably pure basically off of God-given talents. LaMelo probably is more talented than Brunson. But Brunson's a winning player, and I'm going to take that player 10 times out of 10, especially when you get to the pro level. You can kind of get away with it in high school being the best player in college. But once you get to the league, everybody's talented. What separates the greats are their impact on winning. And Brunson just gives us that night in, night out. Yeah, does he have his stinkers far and few between in the season for him? Absolutely. But man, I just hope fans really appreciate what we have with Brunson. Like, we've waited decades to have a player since Ewing left, since Carmelo left. And we have that. So I really hope fans are appreciating what we're seeing every day, because he brings it every day. He rarely gets injured. When he does, he's back in a split second, based on the injury. So, man, it's just a treat to have Brunson in the Knicks uniform, because I see a lot of talented guys, and I know you do too, around the league, but the impact on winning is...
Yeah, you're right. I agree. You know what I'm saying? The impact on winning means everything. You know what I mean? And Brunson, obviously, just with his time with the Knicks, he's had an impact on winning basketball. You know what I mean? From from the leadership style that he does have to his play to just being stone cold. You know what I'm saying? He's just a killer out there. He's just a stone cold killer. He don't care who's in front of him. He don't care nothing about that. All he cares about is winning.
Right. Two more quick points, Tim. Yeah. 2 more quick points, and I'll let you go so you could, get other callers. But and another thing too, he's so like when you think about us being fans of the Knicks, I'm a big Giants fan like you as well. It takes a special athlete to play in New York. Like, I don't think people realize how hard it is to win, from the pressure from the media to the fans, the expectations.
Mm-hmm.
He just embraces it. He does this in such a calm, cool, and demeanor way. You never hear any off-field issues with him. Like Ja, and this is not a knock to Ja Morant. He's a special, special athlete, basketball player, but something is missing with him.
Yeah.
And to have somebody that comes in, night out, produces, you don't have to worry about any off-the-court issues. He just puts his hard hat on and plays. Man, he's just been a treat his last 3 or 4 years, and I really hope we get a chip with him.
He's a pro. He's a pro's pro.
Pro's pro. So, and our last point, Sim, I wanted to ask, are you doing any like I know sometimes y'all do like pre-game events. Are you doing any games this year, man? Like I said, I might be going to the Lakers game.
Yeah.
February 1st for my birthday. I know you mentioned the game in January, so definitely love to link up with y'all, man.
Yeah. We'll probably be doing something after the new year. Yep. I've been going through a transition myself, so
right.
So it'll probably be like after the new year.
All right. Yeah.
And we'll have some.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, February 1st is my birthday. The Lakers are going to be at the Garden, so I try to hit up one game a year. So I don't know if y'all around for that, but if y'all have any games or pre-game meetups, I'm sure
we'll definitely be doing some watch parties and things. So, we're working on it now. You know what I mean? It's just it's been a year and a half of transition for me, but things has kind of settled down now. So.
All right, cool, son, cool. But yeah, like I said, happy holidays.
Appreciate you, brother.
I'll listen off here.
No doubt. Appreciate you, always. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks with the good win tonight. And everything that Jason just said, man, about Brunson, in my opinion, is true. Brunson is a pro's pro. He's a pro's pro. And he, along with Randall and along with, some people are going to hate it, but along with Tom Thibodeau, helped change the culture of the Knicks. And now hopefully this squad right here takes us over the top, right? That's what we're looking forward to. Takes us over the top. JJ said he wants to pull up too. Listen, as soon as we get a couple of dates, I'm going to let you know. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm in Rochester now. So for those who are in Rochester, I'll be doing some here in Rochester too. But I'll be doing some in the city, of course, and they'll be at Legends. You already know. You know what I'm saying? You already know. So just be cool. It's coming. Promise you that. It's coming. We're going to, go watch some games together and have a good time, man. Let's check out the game stats, and then we're going to talk about this starting lineup. Knicks get the win 129-101. They dominate the glass 53-45. 26 assists for the Knicks tonight. Only 15 for the Hornets. 12 steals for the Knicks tonight. Only 5 for the Hornets. 4 blocks for the Knicks. 14 turnovers tonight for the Knicks. It's definitely something, ladies and gentlemen, that the Knicks have got to get a hold of, I think. I mean, we've had some really, really good nights. 8 turnovers or something like that. That's a really, really good night. But we've had some rough nights on the turnovers. Tonight was, a mediocre night when it comes to turning the basketball over. And trying to learn how to play faster, trying to learn a new system, I think turnovers are expected. Right? Turnovers are expected. And once I think the system becomes more natural, I think you can then expect that those turnovers will start to dwindle down. we're not like a super smart team, but we're smart enough not to turn the ball over at a high rate. You know what I mean? And if we maybe right now we're averaging about 12. If we stay there, I think that's good. But we've had some nights with some heavy turnovers. But I think once everything becomes second nature, those turnovers will drop even more. Tonight, the Knicks 56.8% from the field, from the field, 52% from the three-point line, 88.9% from the free throw line. 64 points in the paint for the Knicks, only 40 for Charlotte. 17 second chance points for the Knicks, and 20 fast break points for the Knicks. Again, a very, very good night all the way around. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way around. A very, very good night for the New York Knicks. The kind of win that you want to get when you're finishing out a road trip. You know what I'm saying? A mediocre road trip for this Knicks team, I guess. But they finished out the road trip with a win, a big win over the Charlotte Hornets. This was a cup game, right? So they needed to win this game, and they need to win Friday as Milwaukee comes into the Garden. And if they win Friday, then they move on, right? And they'll continue to have a chance to play for the championship in Vegas. And I would love to see the Knicks play for the championship in Vegas. I would love to see it. You know, some people don't care too much about it. I do. I mean, it's not like, I'm not like bugging out like, oh my gosh, we got to be in there. But I'd like to see us be in it. You know what I mean? I think it's a good stepping stone for this basketball team. I think it's a good learning tool for this team. Good learning tool. All right, but the Knicks dominate this basketball game. I think at one point they went down 6 points or something like that, but for the most part, they dominated the game. Come away with a nice win, coming home for Thanksgiving, getting ready to play the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, I want to talk, ladies and gentlemen. I want to get your reactions. If you're free to call in, call 516-362-5212. I almost forgot my own phone number, even though it's right there in front of my face. 516-362-5212. Give me a call. I want to know what you think about this. The Knicks started tonight. Let's go back to the box score just to make sure. Tonight, the Knicks started Jalen Brunson, Miles McBride, Anthony Towns, Karl-Anthony Towns, that is, Josh Hart, and Mikal Bridges. So, Mitch was in the lineup. Mitch was in the rotation. Came off the bench. Seems to me that Mike Brown is liking a smaller lineup out there on the floor and might be leaning towards going away from the double big, especially if Mitch is only going to give you 16 minutes a game, which right now this seems like that's what it's going to be for the remainder of the year, 16, 17 minutes a game for Mitchell Robinson. At this point, I don't know. Is it still load management that he's only playing 17 minutes a game? 16, 17 minutes a game? I don't think so. I feel like Mike Brown might settle in on a small lineup, putting Karl-Anthony Towns back at the center spot. OG obviously will be there at the power forward. And then who's at the shooting guard spot? You know what? If Landry Shamet wouldn't have gotten hurt, I would shoe him in at that shooting guard spot because I think Mike Brown likes him there. And when he comes back from injury, you may see eventually Landry Shamet get into that spot. Now, until Landry Shamet comes back, and if OG comes back before Shamet, OG's going to begin, he's going to go right back to starting at the power forward spot, and then who's at the shooting guard spot? Either Josh Hart or Deuce McBride. I think I'd go with Deuce and put Josh Hart back on the bench. that would be what I would do. And then when Shamet got back, maybe you see Shamet in that lineup over Deuce. A little bit more height, still plays defense, can shoot the basketball. So if you're looking at Jalen Brunson, Landry Shamet, Karl-Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges, Shamet 6'4", gives you a little bit more length in that lineup. He can shoot the basketball, of course, and he plays decent defense. That could be what happens. I have a feeling that Mitch is going to go to the bench. But you know what? It actually strengthens our bench if that happens. It makes our bench a little bit more well-rounded, I think. Because now coming off the bench, you got Deuce McBride, you got Jordan Clarkson, you got Josh Hart, Yabusele, and Mitch. I think that's a more rounded lineup coming off the bench. And that's a lineup. You can have all 5 of those guys on the floor together, I think, if you wanted to. Where's the scoring coming from with that lineup? I guess Jordan Clarkson and Deuce. Well, Jordan Clarkson, Josh Hart, and Deuce, I guess. I guess they can get you some buckets. But, yeah, that's what I see happen now. I want to know what you guys think about the lineup. Size 9 says the double big never worked to begin with. You see Tibbs was smart enough to say, no, we ain't doing that. Was he smart enough to say, no, he ain't doing that? I don't know about that, though, Size, because remember, Mitch was hurt for a lot of the season. So when he came back, it was kind of natural for him to come off the bench. Late in the playoffs, Tibbs went to the double big. But I do feel like the double big, if you want to play fast, I don't feel like the double big is to your advantage. If you want to play fast. I just don't feel like it's to your advantage. I agree with Size. He says the double big is too slow. I don't like it. And I agree. It's slow. Especially when you have so many teams that have, from the center spot, from the point guard spot to the center spot, someone who can shoot, handle the ball, all of those things. Sometimes you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't mind seeing Mitch coming off the bench. Mitch said as much himself that he wouldn't mind coming off the bench. Right? I wouldn't mind seeing Mitch come off the bench and Landry Shamet jump into that starting spot, or Deuce jump into that starting spot. I mean, Deuce, obviously, you've seen tonight, can knock down a 3. He's not the style of shooter that Landry Shamet is. So I think with a guy like Landry Shamet out there on the floor, you expand your offensive repertoire with him. Right? Because of the style of shooter he is, a guy that can run off screens, catch and shoot really quick, so on and so forth. And he's shown some ability to go to the basket, off of closeouts. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Landry Shamet starting at the shooting guard spot when he returns now. He has a sprained shoulder, and he should be out like 4 weeks. So, it's not too bad. It's way better than what I thought it was going to be. Right? Way better. I'm looking, I'm like, damn, maybe he pulled his arm out of the socket and all of this. No. It's a sprained shoulder, 4 weeks. I guess 4 weeks is probably the minimum. Right? And then he can come back. Now, let's hope. What I'm hoping is that when he comes back, the shooting is the same. Because you remember last season when he came off an injury, he wasn't shooting the ball as well. When he came off an injury. So hopefully when he comes back from injury this time around, he can shoot. We'll see what the recovery regimen is for him. I'm sure there'll be some minutes restrictions when he comes back. By the end of the season, though, I would think that I've been holding that one back, y'all. I've been holding it back. I was trying not to do it. I didn't want to do it live on the air. I was holding it back. I had to let it out. Sorry. But let's hope that he's able to come back and jump right back into form. I don't know. I'm sure the medical team is going to have a plan set out for Landry Shamet and when he can come back, so on and so forth. Now, his contract is non-guaranteed, right? So, in my opinion, they're going to guarantee him. I really don't. I don't see any different. Right? I don't see why they would not guarantee him. I think they're going to guarantee Landry Shamet as long as he's able to come back healthy. Obviously, they're going to monitor the situation, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that he can come back healthy. But if he's able to come back healthy, I don't see why he wouldn't get his contract guaranteed. So according to Ian Begley, what Ian Begley is saying is there's optimism that Landry Shamet can rehab the shoulder injury and avoid surgery. Shamet has right shoulder sprain and is currently rehabbing. All things considered, it seems to be good news for the New York Knicks that Shamet avoided more severe shoulder injury. And that is very good news for the New York Knicks, right? On top of that, Begley says something to clarify on Landry Shamet. Even if the Knicks decided to waive him before his deal is fully guaranteed, which they won't, Ian Begley saying they won't, the New York Knicks are still obligated to pay Shamet's salary while he's hurt. The team that waives an injured player on a non-guaranteed deal is obligated to pay the player for the duration of the rehab/recovery. So there's no financial benefit to the Knicks waiving Shamet while he's hurt. Clarifying here because there's some speculation about the New York Knicks saving money by waiving the Knicks veteran guard/forward. Shamet has a shoulder sprain and will be reevaluated in 4 weeks. There's optimism that he can avoid shoulder surgery in the rehab process, and he's already begun rehabbing. I think the Knicks should rock with him. That's the way I feel. Rock with the kid. Guarantee his contract. You know what I'm saying? He produced last year in the playoffs. He's been producing this season. You might as well rock with the brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Rock with him. Don't let it. Don't just don't waive him. Rock with him. Let him do his thing. Kev said they might actually give a short contract. Size 9 said, I don't know. You're saying, I don't know. Tell me why. Explain that to me. Explain that to me. Right? Why do you say you don't know? I want to know. And I'll be waiting. Or you can call in, Size. 516-362-5212. Slow Runner 14 said, who gets the extra roster spot when Shamet is hurt? I think we've already seen that Tyler Kolek is going to play. That's who I think it is. Mitch came back. Obviously, OG is not here. But I think it's going to be Tyler Kolek who gets the extra burn right now. Tyler Kolek, 7 points tonight. He's beginning to play better, play with more confidence. And so right now I think it might be Tyler Kolek. Now, Diawara, I would love to see Diawara get some burn. D. Cooler says play Diawara in the place of Shamet. I get it. I don't know. I want Diawara to play. There's no doubt about it. Right? I want Diawara to I would like to see Diawara playing. I don't know. I think he may not be ready. He may not be ready offensively. You know what I mean? Size said this is twice in less than a calendar year. True. when you look at this incident here, yeah, I mean, it was clearly, he ran into a screen, bang, hit the screen. And maybe your fear is that it'll continue to happen, even off of minimal contact. It may be. I don't know. But I think he's been a bright spot. He's helped us to win a couple of games that we might not have won without Shamet. So I think we should. I don't know. I think the Knicks should. It's just 1 year. Pick up his contract. And if it doesn't work, then you move on from him next year. You know what I mean? But he's been this is his second season with the organization, and he's battled from the bottom in both seasons. And I think he proved himself a little bit more this year than even he did last year. You know what I mean? Sai said, I'm a huge fan of Shamet, but we got to start having healthy play. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. We definitely need to have healthy players on this basketball team. We got guys that can get injured at the drop of a dime. You know what I mean? And it's hard to win when you don't have availability. When you don't have the player availability, it's hard to win. It's hard to win if you don't have that player availability. And I agree. I don't want that to be what holds the Knicks back. Kev Berg said, I think Diawara has the potential to be a rotation player. Not sure if it's with us, though, but I hope so. I think he has the potential to be a rotation player, too. Not this year. You know what I mean? He's got some growing and some learning to do. For real. He really does. Some growing, some learning. He's all of that. He's got some learning to do on the offensive side and even on the defensive side. He's a rookie. But I do think he has the skill set. You know what I mean? I think he has the skill set to be a rotation piece on this basketball team. Because Yabusele, to me, Sai said Yaba was good tonight. Yabusele, to me, doesn't really fit. Sorry. Doesn't really fit this roster, in my opinion. And so I think in the long run, Diawara is going to replace Yabusele in that lineup. You know what I'm saying? As soon as he gets a little bit more experience, you know what I'm saying? When you look at him out there on the floor right now, he's very green. Right? He's very green. He is gifted, but he's very green. You know what I mean? So he just needs some experience. He needs game time action. You know what I mean? And that's how he's going to get better. Game time action. He needs, some game time action. Well, that's not the only way he's going to get better. He just needs to play. Whether that's in practice, however it is, he needs game time experience. But I think he's definitely a keeper. And I think that Mike Brown is doing a good job so far trying to bring him along. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get him to be a contributor to this basketball team. He's got to work on his shooting. His decision making, but he's gifted. He has the tools. Ricardo says, Sim, do you think we got a lemon in Yap? Yes, 100%. I think we got a lemon. I don't think he's not going to be with this team long term, in my opinion. You know what I mean? D Public Enemy said that's contagious. Yeah, I know, man. I'm sorry. My bad. It just keeps coming. I've been working hard lately, so you get up early, you're working hard, watch the game, do a show. You know what I'm saying? You get tired when you work. I work hard, just like all of you do. Everybody, we all work hard. We work hard. You know, size. You said it's not the player he is. Saying that we're just looking for highlights. I'm not looking for highlights from Yabusele. It's not about the highlights. I don't know. I just don't see that he fits really well with the way that we want to play basketball. I don't think he fits. You know. Anyway, I think Mitchell Robinson is going to come off the bench from now on. I'd be, you know, if Mike Brown starts him, I get it. But I think the roster, the lineups, the rotations, and the lineups are better with Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? I do. I think the lineups are better. I think it's more balanced with Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench. You know, do we have to worry about shot blocking and rim protection in that first unit? Yeah, we do. We're going to have to worry about that. There's no doubt about it. Second unit's going to be better. First unit, we're definitely going to have to worry about shot blocking in that unit if Mitchell Robinson's coming off the bench. But I think I'm willing to do it because I feel like there's more synergy, there's more rhythm when we're playing with a smaller guy out there. And we're small all the way around anyway. We only got a few, you know, we're small anyway. So, you know, we just rock with it and go with it and play our style and do what we do. You know what I mean? Size, you said Yabu doesn't make half the mistakes that Hart makes out there. But, okay, I get that, but there's a big difference, though. You can take mistakes if a guy is producing across the stat sheet, which Josh Hart is doing. He's producing across the stat sheet. Points, rebounds, assists, steals, right? So you can deal with the mistakes. If a guy is not really producing, then you're not going to deal with mistakes. You know, you're not going to deal with, at least I'm not. At least I'm not. You know what I mean? At least I'm not. You got to be producing. You got to be you got to be putting up stats in all these other categories for me to deal with mistakes, right? Turnovers, mistakes, wrong rotations, mistakes, missing little bunnies, mistakes. You know what I'm saying? You got to be producing all over the stat sheet for me to say, okay, you know, I can deal with the brother's mistakes because he produces like this, because he's giving me this production over here. Then I can deal with that. You know what I mean? If you're not giving me that production, then, you know what I mean? Nah. It's okay. It's okay. I'm saying we can figure you can figure out something else. You know what I mean? If you're not gonna give me that production. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks beat the Hornets 129-101. Get their second road win in a row. They beat two bad teams. The Brooklyn Nets, Charlotte Hornets. And by the way, my man Tony Crow was in Charlotte. He was at the game tonight. Big shout out to Tony Crow for taking the trip down with family for the holiday. You know, so big shout out to him. You know, but the Knicks get the win that they needed tonight. 11-6 on the season. Right now, the New York Knicks are, let me check and make sure, but they should be, they were fourth, I think, coming into this game in the Eastern Conference. Right? I think the Knicks were fourth coming into the game. Now, they're probably third. I'm about to check right now what the standings are. So right now, in the Eastern Conference, the New York Knicks are fourth still, 11-6 behind the Miami Heat, who are 13-6. The Detroit Pistons are 15-3. Took a loss tonight. All right, the Toronto Raptors 14-5. The Heat 13-6. The Knicks 11-7. The Cavaliers 12-7, and the Hawks 11-8. Teams that we thought were going to be good are starting to round into shape. The Orlando Magic are 11-8. The Celtics are 10-8. The Bulls 9-8. The 76ers are 9-8. The Bucks, you know, I don't know what to think about the Bucks, but you know, they're 8-11. Then you got the Hornets, the Nets, the Wizards, the Pacers. The worst, the worst teams in the Eastern Conference. The Pistons, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you, man, this Pistons team is serious. And I know every year we have teams that are good and they surprise us and all of that kind of stuff. But we know from last year how tough the Pistons were. And now we're seeing how good they're about to be. I mean, let me just say how good they are. But, the Pistons are really, really good. And we should be worried about the Pistons. I know there's a lot of, from the beginning of the season, there was just a lot of, who do we have to worry about in the East? We should dominate the East, da. Now, man, the Pistons are a serious basketball team. And we've got to respect them as such. They got the second best record in the league. Right? They just had a large winning streak, whatever number it was, I forgot. They're serious. The Raptors, we'll see how serious they are. They've won 9 in a row. 14-5. They've won 9 of their last 10. They look serious. Now, obviously, early in the season, still, your first 20 games, you get a lot of teams that jump up to the top of the East or the West, and then, as the season goes on, they begin to fall as teams start to strategize. Things start to get a little bit more serious. Guys come back from injury, all those type of things. All of a sudden, these teams start to drop. I don't think the Pistons are going to be one of those teams. I'm not saying they're going to be number one in the East the entire season, but I don't think they're one of those teams. I think the Pistons are for real. And that's a team we got to watch out for in the Eastern Conference. That's just my opinion, I'm telling you. I think we got to watch out for these guys. I seen some kind of clip from Cade, and, he was asked about MVP, this and that. He was like, my goal isn't to win an MVP. My goal is to come home with an NBA Finals championship. They're serious. They're serious. And they have a lot of weapons. They have toughness, grit, play defense. They have a lot. They have a lot of the chemistry things that you need to win in this league. They got a very smart player in Cade Cunningham. Calm, cool, collected, makes good decisions on and off the ball. You know what I mean? You got big bruising players. You got vets. You got young guys. They got a nice mix, and they're serious. And don't be surprised if they're top 3. They remain top 3 in the Eastern Conference this year. And that's for real. So yeah, the Knicks. We got a lot of competition in the East. Don't think we're running away with it. I'm sorry. Don't think we're running away with it. I know the Knicks want to win it this year. Leon Rose wants to win it this year. I don't want Leon Rose to get so caught up in that we got to win it that we start making wild trades, though, and doing things like that. No, we can't do that. We just got to stay the course. Let this team grow. Let the team build. You know what I'm saying? Let the team build. Because if you keep changing it, next thing you know, the continuity is gone, the chemistry is gone, and now we're looking like the Clippers, trying to find ways to put together a team that can win. No. You know what I'm saying? Just let the thing grow. Just let the thing grow. Pat said, MBK of the originals. You're one of the originals. I appreciate you. And I'm one of the originals as far as doing the whole Knicks podcast thing. It's a million, thousands and millions of us now. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's all good. It's all good. It's all good. The cream always rises to the top. And it'll rise again. You know what I'm saying? Roman the Chosen said, nah, we're trading. I just don't know if that's going to be the best move, man. Honestly, I don't know if that's going to be the best move right now to make trades. Because when do we find a consistency? If we're constantly trading and changing and all of that, when do we find the consistency that you need to win? To win at a high level. You dig what I'm saying? You got to have consistency to win in this league. If you want to win a championship, consistency means something. You know what I mean? You got to have consistency. And if we start making, mad moves because we're getting desperate and want to win a championship and my job depends on it and all that kind of stuff, then we're ruining what we're building. We start tearing down what we're building or what we've built. Just let it grow. See what happens. Give it a couple of years to marinate. Let it marinate. You know what I'm saying? And then say, okay, you know what? This ain't happening. Now we got to make a move, right? But you got to let it marinate a little bit, man. I got my guy Silk on the line. Silk, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
What up, Sim?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yo, Sim, I got no beef with you, bro.
You say
I ain't had nothing to do with that conversation you had the other night about Yabusele, and you threw my name up in the conversation, man. What's up with that? I think I was leaving that man alone.
No, I was whoever was on the phone was trying to listen. Whoever was on the phone was trying to find a way to say something about Yabusele, and and the derriere stuff. So I said, just spit it out. Silk already did it.
But I'm like, why am I in this? Why am I in the cooking with the greased chicken, man?
Because you was the first one to spit it out. You was the first one to do it.
That man alone. I said, I'm leaving that man alone. He doing
all right.
I ain't gonna use,
you did.
I ain't gonna use that 3-letter word no more. That 3-letter word is gone. It's burned. It's done.
Okay, cool. Let that joint be done.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sam. The double bigs, if you want to move fast, it ain't working because Mitch ain't got that quick lateral speed like he used to about 3 or 4 years ago. He can't stay with them agile forwards on the wing. He used to be back in the day, but he ain't got that no more. So
right,
have him come off the bench, be the backup center, have Yabusele be the backup power forward, and no backup center minutes, and we just roll with whoever we got. We playing the small ball. And OG, when he comes back, he's big enough to play a big 4. So, because he could guard 5 and he could guard 4, so he can handle that.
So was it you that I was talking to the other day when you were saying that we're talking about how small we are?
Hey, I was worried about that. I ain't gonna lie. But your OG back out it, I'm not as worried. But right now, I'm worried. But when OG comes back, I'm not as worried.
So, but do you think if Mitch is out of that starting lineup and we're going with Deuce or Hart or Landry Shamet when he returns, that we're going to be too small?
No, because that's a 2 guard. So OG and Mitch and McHale, OG and McHale, you put Hart there, then we definitely ain't small. Hart, McHale, OG. You
said we're not small?
That's who we were last year.
Right.
While Mitch was hurt.
Right.
We just didn't have no backup. We had nobody to back up Cat when he went out at the big. But we got a big to back up Cat when he sits on the bench.
Right.
So who coming as that backup last year? Huck Pody till he got hurt, and then we were playing Precious.
Well, we were playing Precious.
Yeah, that's small.
We were playing Precious. Right, when Mitch is out, we was playing Precious. You got to give it to Precious though. He can block shots. He played a little bit bigger than his height.
When he went against real bigs on the bench, he had trouble. So he's good for what he is. Like I said, he's doing well with the Kings. I see he stole the win the other night. Got the steal at the last minute.
Yeah.
Against Randall.
Yeah.
Randall probably cussed him out.
He probably did. He probably did.
Preston was good at what he was. He couldn't score, but he could block shots. He could get steals.
Every now and then he'd have a scoring game, and you would see the potential that some people, would talk about.
Right. What I can see with Mitch is he could dominate the backup bigs on the board. They ain't gonna be able to keep him off the board.
Right.
The backup bigs. So
right.
that's a better. He could help out in the paint against Jordan Clarkson, because Jordan Clarkson is catching fouls all over the place.
Right. So
he's trying, but
so do you think that Mike Brown is going to go with the small lineup from now on, moving forward? I kind of felt like it was going to be like that anyway.
Yeah.
This season, I just kind of felt like he was going to go with a small lineup. Eventually, I think he was trying out the double big, but I felt like he was going to end up going with the small lineup, because I remember early in the season when Deuce would get out there on the floor with the team, I thought it ran much smoother.
Right, and if Mitchell was just blocking everything that came in his way in the paint and on the elbow, then they would stay with the big. But he's not. He's not able to stay with those guys. So we might as well go smaller and quicker, so they can keep him in front, have him shoot over us instead of at the rim. Layups. And I know that's killing Brown seeing layups, because Orlando was just getting layups on Mitch.
Yeah.
And he couldn't stop him from shooting layups.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if it was that illness or it was just his foot speed, because the next game he went out with a sickness, or maybe he had the Deuce bring his baby child virus into the locker room, get everybody sick. I don't know, but I might give him a slack on that game, because the next game he did go out being sick, so maybe he was a little under the weather in that Orlando game. He didn't have his regular speed. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
we're gonna see.
Man, I do think tonight Mitch not starting was noteworthy, and Mike Brown he's gonna go with a small lineup, if you want to call it small.
Right.
So D Public Enemy said the small lineup hasn't worked.
What do you mean? Yes, it is.
He said Miami and the Bucks bullied us. Did they bully us because of the small lineup, or did they bully us because they were tougher? Because they played tougher, D Public Enemy. Because you know what? No matter how you slice it, Public Enemy, no matter how you slice it, we still got the same 10 guys playing. You can change the lineups up. You still got the same 10 guys playing. Right? So, I don't know. Is it really that? Is it really that they roughed us up because we were playing small, or because they was just tougher than us? Same 10 guys playing. You can change up the lineups. Go ahead, Silk.
So let me ask you a question. Is everybody at Miami playing it soft? Because they fooling everybody right now. Mm-hmm. They running and charging people in your chest and backing you up, that quick kind of thing. As soon as the league get used to that, they gonna know how to slow that down. Right now, just like how we shot teams early on last year between October and December with Cat and Brunson, and then they found a way to slow that down. They gonna get ready to slow how Miami just grabbing the ball and they're running quick in your chest. They're gonna be having them guys sit in front of them, and they're gonna start getting charges on those things and getting people backing off. They're doing that to everybody right now. Everybody's a little shocked at how Miami's playing, because they're not used to Miami playing that.
Right.
The league gonna learn how to be ready for that and slow them down.
And that's a testament to
yeah, he's a great coach.
Yeah, definitely a testament to him.
So,
let
me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because somebody do a crazy-ass trade, and I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that. Because this AD nonsense getting on my nerves. But they said, keeping Cat but we traded Mitch and Hart. And if we do that, Brunson's leaving.
I mean, well, would he leave because we traded Hart? Maybe. I don't know.
Dante, we keep trading the roommates.
Yeah, I mean, trading Mitch, I don't think he's going to care about. But if you're trading Hart, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So you think they would go and ask Brunson first before if that was the case, to pull that trigger? Because normally when we go for a superstar, it's always Hart.
Yeah. No.
But they want to keep the superstar with Cat.
I think Hart is, like I said the other day, no pun intended, the heart and soul of this team, and you got to keep him. He's a culture setter for this team, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
So if it's Giannis or Hart, you still want to keep Hart?
I mean, if you're adding Giannis to Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, I mean, obviously you can't say no.
I know. That's a hard call. But it seems like every time there's a superstar trade going involved, Hart always gets moved for that superstar.
Yeah.
He got moved for AD.
Yeah.
So it seems like he's always the chip, and his money matches with Mitch.
Right.
But it's not going to be Cat, and I don't think it's going to be OG. So if that does happen, I don't want it to happen because I don't trust
I just don't think that the Knicks are going to make a trade for a player that's going to tear the team apart. And I don't mean that person. I'm just meaning like you make a trade and you got to trade all these pieces to bring that one player in, and then maybe, a couple other bench pieces thrown in or end of the bench pieces thrown in. I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's more about just adding around the team that we have. Maybe pulling out.
They think one of them two-way guys could take a little bit of the replacement. Trade Junior, trade a third, one of those guys is capable.
Who though? Who?
Trade
listen,
the third, that's the two-way guy.
Yeah, but listen, I'm still on the same thing that I was on last year. These guys are two-way guys for a reason.
Right.
People are sitting on the end of the bench for a reason. If a coach sees a player and says, this guy can help us win a championship, that coach is playing him. When a coach sees a player and says, this guy needs more development, then they're not going to play him. They're going to help that guy get more development. But when a coach when a coach sees players that can help this team right now, he's playing them. I don't care who the coach is. The best guys are going to play. And if someone can help you win, they're going to play. So when guys are in the G League, I'm not saying anything bad about them. They're developing. They're growing to become those kind of contributors. And I just don't know. Like Mike Brown sees these guys in training camp. He's seen them in practice. And if there was a guy, he said, this guy right here, I want him, he'd been on the team.
You know what I think going to happen, Sim? They're going to wait till January when we play the West Coast team, the OKC, the Denver.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to see if the small ball lineup can play with those guys. And if he can, we're not going to go for size. We're going to stay packed. But if we start getting beat up against the OKCs and the Denvers because of their size, I think they may try to make a move for more size.
Yeah, maybe. The Coolest said Giannis is coming, whether it's through trade or free agency, and the Bucks ain't going to let him walk for nothing. We say that all the time, D Coolest. This guy is coming, that guy is coming. No matter what, he's on the way. And it doesn't happen.
Nah, we can't. Our salary, we can't get him by
It doesn't
3.
happen, right? The only guy that came was Carmelo. It's the only guy.
If it ain't by trade, we staying pat. We can't sign. He can't sign none of these big guys by free agents.
Yeah.
We can't even sign Mitch by free agents.
Right.
So, but Giannis gonna be back for Friday. You know that, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. It's on national TV, right? There's no way he's not. It's on national TV. It's a cup game. You know what I mean? They want to promote the in-season tournament and all of that. Giannis will be playing on Friday. in New York. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I'm positive of that. He will be playing.
And I'm gonna start a petition, Sim. If Hart keeps shooting like this, he ain't never fixing that thing. We're gonna put a boycott. He ain't never fixing that.
Yeah, maybe. That's funny. That's funny.
Because he's shooting threes in people's faces now in the corner.
I mean, yeah, he is. He is. We'll see if it continues. Hopefully it continues because then, it adds to his repertoire. It adds to the Knicks' repertoire. Now, they can spread the floor better, allows them to penetrate to the basket better and all that kind of stuff.
Do you think he's putting up shots because he's hearing all these trade rumors and he's putting in the Knicks' head, I can do this. Don't trade me.
Nah, I mean, he's a pro. He's a pro, so he's just working on his game. That's the way I see it.
But then Brunson say he listens to social media. He gotta get the social media, the Knicks Twitter out of his head.
Nah, I don't think it's that. Josh Hart is a jokester, likes to play, and all of that. I think he just worked on his game. You know what I'm saying? No matter what happens, at some point he's going to be up for another contract, whether it's with the Knicks or somebody else. So you got to keep working on your game and getting better.
Yeah.
You got to.
Yeah.
You got to.
But don't AD and Giannis both got 2 years left on their contract?
I'm not even sure because I'm not interested in trading for either one of those guys right now. So I haven't even been up on how much their contract is.
I know, but the reason I say that because Brunson gonna have after 2 years his contract's gonna be gone too. So if they both got 2 years, I can see why everybody's looking at maybe trying to get one of them with us with 2 years. Because then if it don't work out, they all that money's coming off our books in 2 years, and the Knicks could start over if it don't work out.
Now here's the thing. You know how hard it's going to be. The NBA has put so many safeguards in place with the CBA to stop, teams from putting together a team like the Heat were with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, right? They've really tried hard to not allow that to happen. So I think it would be very hard for the Knicks to put together Brunson, Giannis, and Karl-Anthony Towns. It's going to be very, very hard. And if you manage to make it happen, you have zero bench.
I know. Well, you're going to be relying on two-way guys to hope they could back us up. That's basically what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And over-the-hill vets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, because Giannis gonna cost more than AD, but AD got a $50 and $60 million price tag on this league.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money. Yeah, let's forget about that. Let's stay with our roster and add here and there.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Add here and there, develop players. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how the San Antonio Spurs stayed good for so long, right? When they had a winning roster, they were developing players that can continually fit around Tim Duncan. You know what I'm saying? And whoever else was there. They continually developed good pickups here, good pickups there. You understand what I'm saying? I think that's what the Knicks got. I want to win a championship. I want to win a championship, but I also want the Knicks to develop a consistent pattern of winning. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be, okay, we won a championship and then now we're terrible for the next 10 years. We win, we go to the NBA finals and then we win a championship finally or something like that, and then, we're terrible for 2 decades. No, I want consistent winning. I want to win a championship, but I want consistent winning.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? Now, Roman the Chosen said, we have, though, Sam, haven't we? right? Yes, you're right. We have been consistently winning over the last 5 years. 4 or 5 years, we've been consistently winning. But I don't want it to just be 4 or 5 years, right? I want it to be an ongoing thing that we are a winning franchise. Okay, you might miss the playoffs for a year or two, but then boom, you get it back. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sell out everything to bring in. I don't want to sell out everything to bring in a group that might not even work when you have something that you're building. You understand what I'm saying? I just want to build it. And I understand you're going to get to a point and you're going to say, we got to do something to get over the hump. Are we at that point? And I know the NBA's changed, right? So teams, they get good quick and then they fall and get good quick and fall sometimes. Championships change hands every year and all of that. So you're trying to get it when you can. So I do agree with that. But I just want to be a winning franchise. I want to be a winning franchise.
So, before I go, let me ask you a question. 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
One, since Mitch is going to be the backup center now, and he only been doing like 15, 16 minutes a game, you think he's going to be able to play double-doubles? Or back-to-back, excuse me?
Double-doubles. Here we go with the double-doubles. I don't know. I mean, he's still playing the same amount of minutes, though. Even if he's coming off the bench, he's still playing 16, 17 minutes a game. And that's what he's been doing since the beginning of the season, 16, 17 minutes a game.
Right. But on back-to-back, they could cut him down to 10 or 5 or 7. But he'll still be there as the backup center. Since he ain't logging the
10?
starting minutes.
Hold up. Did you say 10? Or 5 or 7?
Yeah, on a back-to-back game, we bring somebody else. How 40 to help him out? On the back-to-back game.
I don't know if they're just gonna do them for 10 or 5 or 7 minutes. Like, come on, like
on the back-to-back games.
On the back-to-back days.
For a little bit to help us out.
You might as well not even play him. If you're doing 5 minutes, he might as well not even play. What's the point?
All right.
What's the point for him to get out there for 5 minutes? What's he gonna do?
Yeah. We play Huck 40 the first half and have Mitch come in the second half.
Man, I don't know.
All right, never mind.
I don't know about that one.
Okay. And my last one before I go,
right.
What do you think about Boston right now? Because they lost to the Nets, but they beat Orlando and they beat Detroit.
Well, they're a team that's trying to find themselves a little bit too, right? You know what I'm saying? They got some new pieces, missing player, injured players and all of that. So they're trying to figure out some stuff and who they are as a team and how to play as a team.
They gonna be a 6 seed?
I don't know. The Pistons are good. The Raptors might be serious.
But Atlanta's shaky.
Atlanta's a little shaky. The Magic are going to be good, in my opinion.
Right.
So the Celtics, I don't know, man. I don't know. They'll be in the play-in. They'll be a top 8. They may not be top 6, but I think they'll be in the play-in. And
unless
probably
you really believe in Philly,
get into the
unless you really believe in Philly, look at it. It's us, Cleveland, Orlando, Toronto. Then everybody else is maybe not.
Hold on, you said it's who? Us?
Cleveland, us,
Toronto,
and Orlando, and Detroit.
And Detroit. I was about to say, what about Detroit? You can't forget about them.
Detroit. So, but 6 and 7, now you're looking at Atlanta, Boston. I can see Boston, they get their act together, might be sneaking in that 6th spot.
Maybe. It's possible. So you think the Raptors are that serious?
If they stay healthy. That's the whole thing. Because they always get this Toronto got an injury, something going on with them. If they stay healthy,
Right.
because Brandon Ingram's always hurt.
Yeah.
Since RJ went up to Toronto, he's always hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty Barnes get hurt. Quickly gets hurt since they went to Toronto. They got to stay. If they stay healthy, they got a squad.
Okay.
But the problem is they don't stay healthy.
Well, shit. If we stay healthy, we got a squad. That's part of our problem too.
Except for OG and Mitch, we don't have a lot of injury-prone players.
OG.
Those are only 2 injury-prone players.
Okay, I can give you
Hart
that.
plays all the time.
I can
McCall
give
plays
you
all
that.
the time.
I can give you
Brooks
that.
plays all the time.
Yeah, I can give you that. You're right. You're right. It's just them two. It's them two. Always going out. Always something with them two. You're right about that.
Right. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
We got to be Giannis because he's trying to make a point that he's trying to tell him, "Yo, come get me."
Yeah. So, let me ask you this before you go. When we play Friday, we got to beat the Bucks. We beat the Bucks. We move on in the tournament. How important is it to you for us to move on in the tournament?
It'll be nice for the young kids to get a chance to get some money who ain't getting paid. But I ain't gonna lose sleep over if we don't make it. But I mean, we get extra days off for the guys to heal up if we don't make it.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be nice to get in the tournament. But we keep getting in the tournament and we keep getting knocked down in the first round. That ain't enjoyable.
Right. I'd like to get in it and win it. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I'd like to get in it and try to win. I mean, it just gives it gives you some in my opinion, it gives you some mid-season focus. Right?
Right.
Some mid-season focus.
So us and the Lakers, you cool with that?
If it was us and the Lakers, yeah, I love that.
In Vegas,
I would love that. That'd be nice. The NBA would love it because last year's Cup came and went.
Yeah,
like it came and went. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even remember. I was like, oh shoot, the Cup. I forgot all about it. It came and went. You know what I'm saying? So if you had the Knicks and the Lakers in the Cup, the NBA would love it. That's exactly what they want. The Knicks and the Lakers, Boston and the Lakers, you know what I'm saying? Those type of teams. Even though it's played in Las Vegas, you know what I'm saying? Even though it's played in Las Vegas, that is prime time. You're gonna get everybody in the West Coast, all the Lakers fans across the country, all the Knicks fans across the country watching. You know, so
yeah. Like I said, if we don't make it, I'm not gonna be mad about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be nice for the people, the Tyler Colich and them, Dadier and them, get a chance to get some real money.
yeah, it'd be nice. Well, the Knicks got to get a win. The Knicks got to get a win versus Milwaukee. They get this win versus Milwaukee at Madison Square Garden. Then we can advance.
Yeah, because we didn't beat them yet, right?
Milwaukee? No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
We can't be going on 0-2 them, and they have a tiebreaker against us too, like Orlando. We got to.
So Orlando's beat us twice.
Miami beating us twice.
Miami,
3 out of 2.
We're 2-1 versus Miami. We probably got to play them one more time. We most likely got to play Orlando one more time.
Yeah,
or twice,
Miami already
twice
won
more.
Orlando already run the series. So season series.
So we're only playing them 3 times this year.
I think Orlando. Yeah, we're only playing 3 times.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we already lost the season. Yeah, we don't need to be losing season series to people.
No. So my Milwaukee might get their act together, and that they might have a tiebreaker on us now. So we gotta take this one.
Yeah, we definitely need to take this one.
We back home, so we gotta take this one.
We back home. You know, we got a strong home record. We're gonna be playing, for basically in an elimination game. How much do you think the players actually look at this as an eliminate, like take it serious?
I think they took it serious. They came out tonight looking not to get beat by Charlotte.
Yeah, looking not to get beat by Charlotte. But do you think they look at it and say, okay, yeah, this is a tournament game. We got to come out with a different intensity.
I think they're going to be like, we don't want to lose 2 in a row to Milwaukee more than the tournament. I think that's more motivation for them.
Yeah, probably.
If it was somebody we beat already, they might be a little lax. But the fact that we got Milwaukee spanked us, and Giannis kept saying it was a motivation because we beat them, we swept them last year. I think that's going to be in their minds. Okay, they're going to come for our throats. We better be ready. Especially if Giannis is coming back.
Yeah.
So and it's home. Like I said, we play better at home. So
we do. So far, it's been opposite from last year, but we've won 2 in a row on the road. So maybe those fortunes are changing a little bit.
Tim, you heard that crowd? Dudes. That Charlotte is home. That ain't no road game. Charlotte is home.
Yeah, okay. I got you. I feel you on that. I mean, we still had to travel there, though. You know what I'm saying? It might feel like a home game because of the crowd, but we still got to travel and all that kind of stuff.
True.
You know what I mean? But still got to do that.
But I catch you on Friday, sir.
Okay. All right. We're going to see what happens. Peace. Silk Sutton, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the New York Knicks play the Milwaukee Bucks on Friday. We'll see if Giannis is back. I can almost guarantee that Giannis is going to play Friday. It's a cup game. It's national. You know, it's a nationally televised game. Most people are off of work, and you know all of that kind of stuff. Families together. Giannis is playing. I think he's playing in that basketball game. You know, so we got to get the win. My man Jay Chosen, what's popping with you, bro? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. Hope you give me an hour and a half, too. I got a lot to say. All right. Yeah. I won't be saying any of the other stuff, though. I promise you that.
Okay.
Oof. Man, I've been waiting to say it so long, I forgot what the hell I want to say. All right, here it is.
All right.
We played a sound game tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm also Ron Man, the chosen one on here, too. I don't know why I show my music one on there, but it's the same guy.
It's all good.
I hope the other people, you know, those guys aren't listening to that. I'm not the same guy. I take it back. Anyway, great game, sound game, good practice. I was the one that was talking to you at length about
size,
getting bigger and taller.
Okay.
Last time, and
so talk to me about.
I really still feel it.
So talk to me about the lineup. If Mitch is going to be on the bench, that we're going with a smaller lineup. How do you feel about that?
All right. So first of all, right now, we're basically minus OG. We're basically playing last year's lineup.
Right.
Right? Isn't that pretty much essentially what we're doing?
Pretty much. But I think when OG comes back, I think Josh Hart probably goes back to the bench. My opinion.
Not Deuce?
Not Deuce. Yeah, I think it's probably Josh Hart.
Interesting. All right, so I agree with you, but only for one reason: rebounding. because we're going to need a rebounder on the second lineup, especially if we're only going to be getting 15 minutes and every other day 7 minutes. I'm only messing around because Silk said that, but like if we're only going to get if we're only going to get 8.5 minutes out of the man, then we're definitely in trouble. I hope I don't know if everybody knows this, but the whole Mitch situation is like Mitch saying he's ready to roll, but his agent saying he don't want him to roll and holding him down, kind of keeping him back from playing longer minutes, according to a lot of different places.
You're saying Mitch's agent is saying that Mitch wants to roll? Say that again. You mean roll about
Mitch wants to play longer.
Oh, wants to play longer. Okay.
Yeah, he wants to roll out. He wants to be able to play. He could do back-to-back games. He could maybe not do as many minutes back-to-back games, but what is being treated as a what do you call that, minutes restriction, or just to make sure he stays okay. A lot of people are saying stuff like, we're saving them for the the playoffs, so we're doing this, we're doing that. But multiple places it's been said that his agent is shutting him down, basically saying, look, and that's because he's due for the bag. But I'm kind of confused about that because I'm not confused. We all know that he's prone to injury. Right. So the more minutes he plays, the more prone he is to being injured. However, there's got to be something. You're paying this man. I really am not interested in his bag. It's not my bag, right? I'm interested in the team, the name on the front of the jersey, right? As much as I agree with everything you say about Hart is the heart of the team. I agree 100%. My favorite player is the captain. My favorite signing that in my lifetime, best signing in my lifetime is Brunson. Period.
I agree with that.
But
Mine too.
If that's the case, and Mitch is not playing because the agent is saving, trying to save him from being hurt, and then playing him and showcasing him as a 15-minute guy who could get you, 8, 9 offensive rebounds. Well, good for him, but that's not good for us in the long term. So, and yes, he is not running with a lot of these big teams. He's just not going to be able to do that. And every time he hits the floor, we're going to hold our breath. Like, I really think our best opportunity, and I know this is very unpopular, our best opportunity right now, and that's why I say I believe trades are coming, is if this is seriously true about Mitch being held back, the whole thing about the bag and the whole thing about whatever, we literally have no 6'9" or above players that aren't 7 feet, and one plays 15 minutes every other game, and one gets silly fouls, but is a beast on offense. Not very great at defense. And I'm being kind about it. So, that's a problem for me. That's a major problem. We're talking about these other teams, right? These other teams like Detroit, like that they have a bunch of players like that are taller and
right,
grittier and more efficient in different ways. We're in trouble. Like, we're supposed to be the quote unquote team to beat. And then you look across over in Detroit. You tell me right now in a 7-game series that you feel very confident that we're winning that 7-game series fully healthy, and I'm gonna use a fully healthy team, because tonight was a laugher. Let's be honest, it was a laugher.
Right.
We could feel good about it.
I guess it's hard to say
It was a
because
feel-good
we haven't played Detroit yet. So, I like to see how we match up against them. You know what I mean? See how we match up against them because we haven't played them yet. So I can't say am I confident or not confident against them. And when you look at Detroit's schedule, it's not like they played a super duper tough schedule either. And I'm not trying to take anything away from them. I
agree with that.
I'm not trying to take anything away from them either. You know what I mean? They're winning the games they're supposed to win. They're doing what they're supposed to do.
All you said was facts. Those are facts. But it is still a fact as well that we don't like Cade Cunningham is on a different level than I think during the series last year.
Is he on a different level than Brunson?
For the bulk of the time.
Is he on a different level than Brunson? Cade.
Is he on a different level than?
Is he on a higher level than Brunson?
See, is he on a higher level than Brunson? No. Brunson to me is. I think Cade is like if you had Ivy back, right, and he was the guard, and Cade was playing off of that, then that would make much more, of a difference. I think Brunson was named the clutch player of the year for a particular reason, right? You could have picked anybody. You could have picked SGA, whoever you wanted, and Brunson was picked. There's a reason why he is that. So no, he's not on a different level. He's not on that level, but he's also a much bigger dude, right?
Hey, 6'6".
And at the moment, he's handling the rock. Am I correct? He's
lead guard. Yeah. Yeah. Listen.
Right?
Listen. He's putting up numbers though. 27 points a game, 6 rebounds, 9.6 assists. He's definitely putting numbers up there.
Yeah.
And his team is on top of the Eastern Conference. Brunson. Listen. Brunson is one of your best scorers in the NBA. Brunson's at 28 points a game, 3.4 rebounds, 6.5 assists.
Right. Yeah, I was just looking at that. Yep. 28 point something, right?
Yeah, 28.
3 or something like that.
28.3, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And he's been there and he's been consistently doing that. And to answer the other question that was if we made those moves, would he want to leave due to the fact that his guy Hart was leaving? I don't want Hart. Hart is the heart of the team, like you said. I believe the same thing. Swiss Army knife, does everything. Love his attitude. Closest thing to a bully we have on this team. Does every single thing that we possibly could need. His I don't think he's the guy that we need to move. But I do think that we are missing something, and we are definitely missing athleticism and height. And we're not going to continue to play Charlotte. We're not going to continue to play Brooklyn. And it seems like when we play these other teams that have that, we're getting burned. Like at this particular point, if you're a huge Mitch fan, all right. What I was going to call you tonight, and he totally messed it up for me by switching everything he did.
Mike
about
Brown?
Deuce's role.
Yeah, let's talk about
Deuce's role.
Let's talk about Deuce.
Let's talk about Deuce for a minute. Deuce.
Let's talk about Deuce.
For a while, I look at the score, the look at the chart at the end, I'd be like, all right, Deuce had 9 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 2 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Deuce had 11 points. What is Deuce doing? What does he add to his team? And then they'll have a night like tonight, but granted, it's Charlotte. So I like Deuce, but I think Deuce is expandable. A lot of people say they don't think he is. Deuce's defense has definitely gotten up. We need Deuce's defense. It's gotten way better than it originally was, and
Right.
it's probably at its best right now.
Right.
Still, I think you package Mitch and Deuce, and you get what you could get because they're the people. I don't know. You know what? I have to watch Deuce a couple more games because he is getting better defense. He's starting to change my mind a little bit. For a long time, I would not call him Deuce. I would only call him Miles. Like for me, if you, I'm not joking. I would call him Miles like an angry parent. Miles, get down here. You ain't finished yet. You're like, for real,
man,
like
for real?
because
Wow.
because my thought is like I come from a certain school, like a certain, I won't even say my age, but like I come from a place where like you earned your nickname,
Okay,
right? Like
okay.
you had a nickname
You're
for
right.
some reason. You know, you hang out with a bunch of your friends in the street. We have nicknames. It was for a reason.
Right.
In sports is different. In sports, you get a nickname because you did something. You know, Jordan was Jordan, then he was Air Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Then he was everything else, the GOAT.
Right.
You know, the king. All that stuff. He was king way before this guy.
No, I right. I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. I mean, I think that came with him before we knew who he was, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know,
like his grandma called it or something like that.
Something,
like something. Somebody gave him that name. Right. I don't know where it came.
He's got a brother named Trey. Yeah.
I got a lot of jokes, so I'm holding them in. Okay, well. Oh God. Well, he got a brother named Trey, and his name is Deuce. All right.
Yeah, got a brother named Trey.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna. I got nothing for it. I'm gonna leave it. What's your feeling on Deuce? Is he expandable to you?
Is he expendable?
Yeah. What am I saying? Is he expendable to you?
Is he expendable? I mean, based on in pure numbers alone, I would say yes, he could be expendable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of his salary, because of his upside, right? And I'm not saying all-star upside. I'm just saying, upside as a rotation player in the league.
At that salary, right? A defender can shoot the three. Yeah, he's going to be valuable. There's no doubt about that. He would be valuable. You know what I mean? And so I think by that alone, because you have a Josh Hart, you have a Jordan Clarkson, you have a Landry Shamet, assuming that they pick up his contract, it does kind of make him expendable. You know what I mean? Because you can say, well, you know what? We can use Deuce as a trading chip to bring back someone because of his salary, because of his age, because he can play defense, and because he can shoot the three. Right? He's going to be valuable for teams, but I think that all of those things also make him very valuable for us because we're getting a role player that can defend and that can shoot. For the price that we're getting him for. And not only that, he's a good guy, good character guy, crowd favorite. You know what I'm saying? Right.
So I think that makes him valuable.
Team guy, team first.
Team first guy, all of those, right, team first guy. So I think that makes him valuable to the Knicks organization as well, but it also makes him a valuable trade chip.
Right. It's both for sure. And I've considered that. And I like the way you put it out there. That's exactly how I would have put it out there, just like that. So it's valuable. But also valuable for what? Because his contract is not Hart's contract. So in other words, if he was playing that way, but he was making Hart's numbers, then he would not be living up to that contract, in my point of view, in my personal point of view.
Okay.
But since he has that contract that he has, he's either living up to it, sometimes going above it, and sometimes not matching it. However, I still think we don't have enough length. We don't have enough athleticism in that thing. We were hoping to get more. I guess some of us were, not really me, because I kind of knew right off the top, because we have climbed the ladder every year. So you had brought that up. You want to stay good for every year, but every year we've gotten better. But you're right. You're about something that I didn't necessarily think about. So like, the Tim Duncans and the Tony Parkers, you add around them. In our case, we had Brunson. Before Cat, it was Brunson, and let's say Randall, right? Brunson, Randall was the second guy, and some other players on the team. It was people like Hart, people like Josh Hart, people like Dante DiVincenzo. It was like people like that you put around them that made everything better.
Right.
And Mitch, when he wasn't hurt. But when he wasn't hurt, we had somebody in iHeart that did very similar things, scored a little bit more, dove on the floor, and you weren't nervous that he dove on the floor.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I really, truly believe that if this is the case where we're not going to be playing our guy who's getting 8 to 9 offensive rebounds in a 15-minute clip every other game, it's time for him to go. And he's got, I think, $12 million, right? 12 or 13. What is he, about 12 or 13 million on his contract?
Like 12, yeah.
Yeah, 12. So if 12 is good enough to go and get you, I don't want no parts of AD right now, even though AD is a horse. Yes, we got to understand that, but he has been hurt over and over again. And every time you go to play something like, let's say, FanDuel, whatever, it's always a game time decision. It's always this and the third. But when he plays, he's a monster.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? You sound like you play. Every time I go in there, I'm like, can I pick this guy or not? Right. I mean, is he playing or not? What the hell? Him, LeBron, they were all the same thing every game. I'm like, oh my God, are we doing this for real?
Right.
And then he would get like 40 and 20, and I'd be like, you know what? I hate this game. But
yeah, I don't know, man.
We can't get him. I'm not looking to go get him. I'm looking to get somebody that is a solid second scorer that play. We need taller defenders.
Yeah, that's the truth. We need
block shotting rebounders.
Yeah,
I don't
know, man. So
how we do that? How are we going to do that, son?
I don't know.
Because Mitch is not the answer anymore.
Well, if Mitch isn't the answer, then maybe you can use Mitch, and package him with some other players to bring back one, and then a guy like, depending on what you bring back, I mean, obviously, you might then be going with Huck Porty or Jemison. I'm not trying to diss Huck Porty, but I like Jemison. Seems real solid to me. And then maybe another one of our guards, if we have to end up moving a guard to bring back one of those type of wings. I don't know. But Chosen, before, because I'm about to head off in about 6 minutes,
right.
5 minutes. A lot of people
All right.
look at Deuce as major for this team. Let me just read a couple of things. Sean Richardson, when Deuce plays like he played tonight, the Knicks are damn near automatic win. He's just got to be consistent. Sean also said that he believes, he said Miles Deuce McBride is the key to the Knicks winning a championship. This is Sean Richardson. If he don't get consistent, Knicks have no shot against the West in the finals. Size said Deuce has his own aura in other arenas too, talking about, everybody, Deuce, when I said he's a fan favorite, and he is. Right. He said Deuce got cheered. He gets cheered everywhere you go. When we was in Denver, they're screaming Deuce. East Blue Drew said Deuce is needed here. We can't afford for him to leave. Let me see who else we got here. I seen
this guy says he's the X factor. I'm with you on
that. Lot of stuff in here about Deuce. A lot of support for Deuce.
Yeah, because Deuce is so important because of so many different reasons. Because before him, Quickly was the guy that was so important. Yeah. Quick this, quick that. He was the guy, and alongside him was, and I always forget his name, and people are gonna kill me on it because I didn't care about him. I thought he was trash, but he's on Mr. Philly, who started for us.
Who?
He's on Philly now. He started for us for a while.
Oh, Quentin Grimes.
And everybody loved him. Yeah, Grimes.
Yeah.
So for me, I hear you, Deuce. I hear you that's important. I also heard when a lot when you said that.
Mm-hmm.
When he's on, if he's on. So when is it if, right? When is it if? It's the same thing as Mitch. If he's not hurt, he's an excellent offensive rebounder. He's a great defender.
Okay.
And he is.
But Deuce.
But
also,
I'm done with the whens and the ifs.
But Deuce also has a constant, right? The defense is a constant for Deuce, and he's always playing, right? With Mitch, okay, the defense is a constant, I guess. There's some nights like the other night he got cooked, but he may not be here playing.
He got cooked.
Right? Deuce is constantly playing, and his defense is a constant. You know what I'm saying? I get it. The offense might come and go. He's averaging 10 points a game. He's shooting this season. Deuce is shooting 41.9% from the field, but 40% from three. Right? If he can get his 2-point field goal,
good numbers.
If he can get up to like 46%, he'd be averaging 13, 14 points a game. Right?
Okay.
But defensively, he's always there.
Yeah.
Right? So he does have, he's consistently good defensively. It's the offensive side that's a little bit, that's not as consistent besides the 3-point shooting. And Kev Berg, another person, someone else supporting him, said it would take a star coming back to add Deuce to the package. I don't see that happening. A lot of support for Deuce. I like Deuce. I like what he brings.
And so do I.
We only
That's
got
a weird thing.
We only got a couple of guys.
Weird.
Yeah, now I get it. We only got a couple of guys who have that kind of heart. And Deuce is one of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to lose that, but I also do recognize that because of his salary, because of what he does bring,
bingo.
He's valuable. He's valuable.
Right. And he's packageable due to the salary and the upsides.
Yeah.
Yes, he's great for our team. If you go out and you get a 6'10" dude who could do the two-way player who could get you maybe 17 points, nine rebounds, he is a lockdown defender, whatever it might be. We got plenty of guards.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. The only reason I brought up Deuce, and I called him Miles because I felt like he needed to earn it. Fine, I'll call him Deuce right now because you guys said a lot of good points tonight.
Yeah.
He had a great game versus Charlotte. I'm saying this, though, and that wasn't a dig. It sounded like a dig. It wasn't a dig. He really was on. Swish, everything was good. I know you want to go, so I'm going to say it quick. I brought him up because he has a salary that, when added to Mitch and perhaps Kolek, and I don't even want to see Kolek go. You see the passes he was throwing?
Mm-hmm.
But still, how realistic is Kolek on this team, too? So if you package these people up, right, you got two centers on the Suns right now. You throw them in the back. I'm not looking for a center that we have a 7-foot guy who scores like crazy and gets rebounds like crazy. But both those old Charlotte centers are now on the Suns, probably cheap as heck. Then you got Dylan Brooks. You got Dylan what's his face on the Suns. You start to look at different packages like that, and you say, okay, if I could take Mitch and I could take him, I could go and get 2 7-footers, and I could get another guy who scores, gets rebounds, and passes. Because we necessarily, if we're keeping Cat and we're keeping the captain, then we don't necessarily need another guy who's a star like Giannis. We need another guy who could get 20 points because we have another guy who could do that as well, just not all the time, and his name is Mikhail.
Right.
And my final thing is, I wish you and yours a blessed day tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
If you do that, if you celebrate it, either way, I wish you a blessed day in general, you and your family.
Yes, sir.
And I always appreciate a good conversation with you.
I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate the call. I love the conversation. I wishing you and your family a happy holiday tomorrow. You know, and I'll be looking forward to talking to you on Friday.
Well, I thank you for that, and I look forward to it too.
No doubt.
Be safe. Stay warm.
Be safe, brother.
Talk to you soon.
Peace. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Man, Deuce. It is a little bit of a phenomenon with Deuce, you know, because he's so valuable. He's a good player, very good player, defensively, can shoot the ball. He's so valuable to this team. I agree. We need that consistency from him, but because of his salary and his age, it makes him a valuable trade chip. And if the Knicks are looking to make trades for someone, don't be surprised if Deuce is brought up and asked for. I do believe the front office wants to keep Deuce around, though. Right? They want to keep Deuce around. He's one of those heart and soul guys of the team. Between him and Mitch, they're the only rotation guys that were drafted to this basketball team. And I think that means something. The fans like that, and it's one of the reasons why Deuce is a fan favorite. So, I think Deuce will be around, though. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think the Knicks, he's the exact type of player this front office wants on the team. Good character guy, plays hard, team guy, hustles, plays defense, all of those things. You know what I mean? But anyway, folks, I'm up out of here. I appreciate your time. Have a very, 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 very happy Thanksgiving holiday if you celebrate it. If you don't celebrate it, like Jay Chosen said, blessings to you anyway. All right, and I'll talk to you later, fellas. Not just fellas, ladies and gentlemen. I'll talk to you later. Be peaceful, spread love. I'm out.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.